This is the Agentic Executive. Today's briefing focuses on a key insight you can use to increase clarity, leverage, and decision-making power.
Hook. Imagine two automations in your company. Both report identical gross savings, $60,000 a year. On paper, they look equal, but one requires weekly human triage, frequent retraining, and breaks whenever a downstream API changes. The other runs reliably, needs only quarterly tuning, and unlocks new revenue through faster throughput. Over 3 years, their economic outcomes diverge dramatically. The difference isn't the headline savings, it's the unit economics beneath them.
Promise. In the next 10 minutes, you get a compact framework, one core insight defining Agentic Unit Economics, 3 supporting checks that expose where value hides or leaks, and a single immediate action, a one-page template you can complete in under an hour to produce a decision-grade snapshot for any automation.
Core insight. Treat agentic automations as products. When you do that, prioritization changes. You stop optimizing for first-order savings and start optimizing for contribution margin, upgrade velocity, and scaling inflection points. Agentic Unit Economics asks 3 questions for every automation. What is the unit that captures marginal value? What are the full recurring costs, including entropy? And at what scale does the automation compound net economic value rather than creating hidden liabilities? That shift turns ambiguity into binary decisions: scale, pause, or retire.
Supporting point 1. Define the unit and its revenue equivalent metric. The unit must measure marginal impact and align incentives. Examples: saved handle minutes per ticket, accurately routed leads per week, or % of tasks auto-completed with verified outcomes. Choose the simplest defensible unit, not a perfect one. Document assumptions, baseline time or revenue per unit, conversion rates, and where attribution ends. Prefer units that are observable and marginal. Do an A/B or time baseline check to validate attribution. That lets you convert operational outcomes into a revenue equivalent number for contribution analysis.
Supporting point 2. Map costs comprehensively. Direct hosting and compute are obvious. Less obvious are hidden maintenance, human-in-the-loop monitoring, prompt tuning, retraining cycles, pipeline fixes, and integration debt when APIs or workflows change. Add an entropy reserve, a recurring budget for drift, bug remediation, and compatibility upgrades. For many agentic systems, a good starting reserve is 5 to 20% of expected annual savings, adjusted by fragility and external dependency. Separate one-time build costs from recurring operational costs so you can compute a sustainable run rate contribution margin.
Supporting point 3. Measure contribution margin and identify scaling thresholds. Contribution margin equals revenue equivalent impact per unit minus all allocated recurring costs per unit, including your entropy reserve. Then map how that margin behaves with scale. Some automations improve with volume. Better models, richer signals, higher accuracy. Others degrade. Increased edge cases, higher integration overhead, or management complexity. Locate the inflection point where marginal benefit turns negative. That threshold is your stop loss or redesign point.
Action step. The one-page template. In under an hour, you can produce a snapshot. Step 1. Define the unit and baseline metric with a one-line statement. Step 2. Estimate baseline marginal value per unit using conservative attribution. Prefer lower bound estimates. Step 3. List recurring direct costs per month, compute, storage, API, and assigned SRE time. Step 4. List recurring indirect costs, monitoring, human triage hours, and integration maintenance. Step 5. Add an entropy reserve and divide totals by expected monthly units to get recurring cost per unit. Step 6. Compute contribution margin and project 3-year cumulative net value at current and 2x scale. Document assumptions and a recommended decision. Scale, test with guardrails, or pause for redesign. Do this once, then iterate weekly for the first month as signals arrive.
Recap and CTA. 3-line recap. Define a simple marginal unit. Map direct and hidden recurring costs, and include an entropy reserve. Compute contribution margin, and find the scaling inflection points. If you found this useful, subscribe to the Agentic Executive for daily briefings that convert ambiguity into action. Apply the one-page template to one automation this week. Iterate weekly and make your next move count. You've been listening to the Agentic Executive. Apply what you learned today and make your next move count. Stay agentic.